I guess it started to unravel back in September. He took me to a bar in Chinatown. Not exactly where, you would expect a proposal. Wait,
Oh, just say yes. You know I can't get down on one knee with my cartilage thing.
but marriage? Look, baby, I love you, but it's only been like 6 months.
I know. And I don't know how much longer I can hold out. I want to share a bed.
Derek, you know that we can't. Just
I know. And I also don't know how much longer I can go without getting any ring ding dong, ring a ding 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 dong. Oh, I got plenty of words for sex. Most of them are food related as well, like putting a loaf in the oven or tossing a hot dog down the hallway.
look, this situation is just you want me to raise your daughters.
I work on the road all the damn time.
Yeah, I know. And those opioids, I mean, they don't rep themselves.
Low blow.
I'm sorry.
Real low blow.
I know that wasn't very Christ-like of me, and I apologize. I have a different calling. Well, what I mean is God's called me to a life of service. I pastor a small church here in the Mission District here in San Fran. Derek makes a lot of money, and he supports the outreach for our Latino youth. Well, Latinx is what I think I should be calling them now. But anyways, these kids, a lot of them trans kids, runaways, they seek shelter in our church community. And Derek's generosity appeals to me. But being a woman in ministry, it's difficult to be in a relationship when God's work is your priority. Does that make sense? Okay, and I know how incredibly hard it is for you to be a father with 50% custody. And I really respect the fact that you want to be a father and raise your daughters.
I don't want an award for doing the right thing. Those are my babies.
And I love, love, love that about you.
They need a mother figure.
They have a mother.
They need a better mother figure. Their mama works as much as I do.
Well, this can't fall all on me. You two have to find a way with your schedules to come together and raise those precious girls. Well, some months went by, and then after Christmas, I figured I needed a fresh start. So my church denomination called me with a completely out of left field idea.
No, absolutely not.
They've commissioned me.
Use normal words. Commissioned is not a word that people say.
They're moving me to the Midwest.
Did you know that snow is only charming on film? Because it's not cold. Because they make it out of cornflakes or something.
I've got cute sweaters.
It's cold in San Francisco, and you already wear your cute sweaters here. And people love them. You're a style icon.
Black Lady Gaga. But no, I do take screen grabs of everything Tracy Ellis Ross wears to the Met Gala, and then I try to whip up my own version of that using my sewing machine. You know, you can be a style queen and serve the King of Kings. Yes.
I don't know. I mean, Missouri, did they even do anything there other than, I don't know, organize insurrections?
Steve, you gotta step it up for me. Take care of these kids.
You're gonna walk away from all these kids? From all these Latino kids? From all these queer trans kids?
You're trans. They're in good hands with you. I know that you can take this church to heights that I could never reach.
You're an actual pastor. I'm just good at forming bonds with kids through gaming.
That's what they need. The power of God's kingdom is done person to person with individual relationships, not with what I say behind the pulpit.
Is this church in Missouri even black? Do they even have black people in Missouri?
Well, between Kansas City and St. Louis, I have a hunch I won't be the only one.
And this church is ready for a female pastor? I mean, these people, they boycott Bud Light and Target, and they freaking love Bud Light and Target. If you'd have told me 5 years ago that I would be roommates with a Christian pastor, I don't know, thrown hot butter in your face. Yeah, but you don't know Trey Parks, man. I mean, she showed me Jesus. Like good Jesus, though. Like OG Jesus. Jesus original. Yeah. She's gonna be missed.
You inherit the Christmas lights. I can't take any of this shit with me.
Well, they're damn lucky to have you. The woodpeckers.
I think it's cardinals.
Whatever, shit like it.
Now, you can get off me now.
No!
Just get back in
Stop
your
it.
space. Personal space.
Shut up.
Personal space.
No, shut up.
We talked
You
about
don't
this
get to go.
already.
No, I'm
I
keeping you.
I
No,
gotta
you
go
stay
far
here.
away.
You stay here.
Look here.
No, you're staying here.
Think the new pastor will like the pretty balloons? How could he not?
Hey, a single guy named Trey from San Francisco. My hunch says he'll appreciate design.
I don't understand.
You never do.
I'm just aggravated that the conference thought they should send us an interim pastor for 3 months.
There was a church scandal.
I wouldn't actually call it a scandal.
Pastor Sickler boinked the church secretary on the copy machine.
Well, it was kind of a scandal.
Everyone left the church. 300 people. There are only 25 of us left.
Yeah, and in this big, beautiful sanctuary, I just hope the new guy can bring in some fresh blood, some fresh meat.
I wouldn't say that they were expecting me. They did hang a huge sign in the sanctuary. That was nice. But I think they were expecting a different gender.
I assume you're here for the Sassy Single Moms class.
I'm not a mom, definitely single, and you shouldn't call a black woman sassy. That might get you canceled.
I'm the church secretary. You really should have checked in.
And you should have been in your office. Trey Parks, I'm the new pastor. The conference told you I would be arriving today, I hope.
Oh, you're kidding. I get it. I have a really strong sense of humor. I'm known for my easygoing personality.
You're Trey Parks?
Yes, and I'm so happy to be here. Does anyone know who has the key to the parsonage next door? The airport shuttle dropped my bags off in the foyer.
Wonderful to meet you, Pastor. I'm Margie. This is Miriam.
They're kind of like the churches Statler and Waldorf.
We're not Muppets. We can hear you. Well, I don't appreciate his snark.
And this is Dolores. She's into natural remedies. She uses honeysuckle to treat her bacterial infections.
She didn't need to hear that, Margie.
Pleasure.
This is Brandon, our African intern.
Well, my parents were missionaries.
Ah, that's an interesting way to grow up. I'm sure you've had a lot of experiences.
Anyway, Pastor, it's good to have you. You would be surprised at how hard it is to get an interim here in January.
Why? I mean, it's so beautiful. The snow reminds me of a postcard.
And well, when it thaws, you'll have a great view of the corn.
That's a precious coat. I have one just like it.
Well, thank you. It's a vintage piece.
Mine's from Walmart. It has shinier buttons.
Oh, okay.
Well, I called an emergency board meeting.
Churches are meant to be run by men.
Leviticus 15:20. Everything on which a woman during her menstrual impurity sits shall be unclean. Also, everything upon which she lies shall be unclean. It's right here.
Well, she's as welcome as the sunshine.
She's the 12th plague.
It's unwelcome as the angel of death.
I think a girl pastor is cosmopolitan, sophisticated. It's like we're all on Frasier. First we hire a white African, now we have a girl pastor. We really do belong in the 20th century.
Well, wait until our board realizes that our reverend has a rack.
That's distasteful, Miriam. I think having a female pastor is enlightened.
If enlightened means spitting in the face of Christ.
You're in your second marriage?
To Luke.
Oh, good biblical name. You're Mary, he's Luke, some of the real heavy hitters in the New Testament.
and Luke's great, and he's good with my daughter, and he loves the Lord, and blah, blah, blah.
So you have a godly man. That's terrific.
He won't support my new Christian business.
Who are you? Please don't tell.
Brad? Oh, it's just you, our new pastor, in hardly any clothes.
Perimenopause is real. And I've been getting warmer lately. Okay, and the part of the brain that regulates body temperature also regulates reproduction. And wait, why am I telling you this? It was hot in the office. I had on a tank top, okay?
Brad?
Okay, who's Brad?
Maintenance man. He hasn't introduced himself.
It's just me, Mary, and creepy Martin Luther.
Oh, yeah. We had a great Margaret Polly. She was condemned to death in the 16th century for heresy, but the poster was of her burning at the stake. Kind of scared the children.
So you were looking for Brad?
Yeah, the school just dropped off his daughter, and the little malcontent got away from me. Did she run through here? Well, Brad is a single father now, and he's having a really tough time keeping the reins on his bratty daughter of his. She has a mouth on her, and she's always spouting off against authority. And Timothy 2:12 says, a woman shall remain quiet.
I haven't seen her. What's with the robe?
Try it on before the service. I'll need time to add fabric to the bust.
We've never had a lady pastor before.
Robes really aren't my thing. I'm just gonna wear a classic Vera Wang.
I don't know anything about Oriental clothing.
Oh, you're going to look like a geisha. How fun.
You can do me one big favor. The church sign outside?
Yeah, I come up with those every week off the top of my head.
Says that, give Satan an inch and he'll become your ruler.
Yeah, it's subtle.
You are in there, young lady. Come out of there. Come on.
Anyway, please come up with a new sign.
I got your text. What happened? Hi.
Brad, this is Trey.
Yeah, and apparently not short for Tremaine or Trenton or Trevor.
Short for Teresa.
Hey, what's going on, kid?
Well, Jamie violated the Christian school dress code.
What's wrong with a sweatshirt?
It violates the pro-insurrection policy.
I think she was kidding, but I'm new to Missouri. Please tell me that the school wasn't for the insurrection.
And the worst part is that you're taking the wrong side in the culture wars.
Private schools can set up their own policies.
They want to burn me at the stake. I'm like that martyr in that photo. I'm gonna go find that post.
You're going to do your homework in front of me. Sanctuary. Now. Go.
I had a teenager once, but that one scares me. She's got a taste for blood. And I had a good teenager. Proverbs 22:15 tells us that foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive him far from it. And I really did beat my daughter with a curtain rod. And now she's a very well-mannered housewife.
Whew. Okay, this door will need a lock. Please go on. Your husband, Luke?
He won't support my new Christian business. Biblical tragedy charms.
Biblical tragedy charms.
Yeah. You see, each charm is from a different tragedy in the Bible. So like here, I have a quail, like the same one that God used to spread a deadly disease. And then here, I have a little snake of fire, just like the one that God used to kill people who wouldn't stare at the pole. And then this is a hemorrhoid, like the one that God gave the Philistines in their secret parts. And then here, this is the angel of death.
I got you.
And
yeah, that's an idea.
Yeah, biblical tragedy charms.
Being called to serve Christ means being willing to listen to anybody at any time.
I can't believe you're punishing me for an innocent t-shirt. Mom would never approve.
Hello? She probably wouldn't have.
She'd be proud of me for being the kind of multi-binary person God created me to be, to express myself in any clothes I want to wear. She wanted what's best for me.
What? You see, I'm a different kind of parent. Unlike your mom, I want what's worse for my child.
Sorry, am I interrupting?
No, I'm sorry. Hey, Jamie, why don't you go finish your homework in the baptismal tank, and don't drink from the rusty spigot.
I'll drink water from wherever I want.
Hey, weekend trip to Flint. I just don't know how to communicate with my daughter. She's I love her. I love her. She's just mean. I mean, it's like paying for the mortgage, paying all the bills, and living with your high school bully,
Such a way with women. Do you speak to your wife the same way that you talk to your daughter? If so, she may need to come see me for marriage counseling.
She passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, she just won't be able to come see you.
Look, again, I am so sorry. I'm from California. We tend to just say whatever we're thinking. I haven't learned the ways of the Midwest.
It's been really difficult to try to connect with Jamie since we lost Kara. So, no kids of your own?
If I had any children, I'm not aware of it.
Yeah, it seems like you'd notice.
It does.
Miriam came up with another sign per your request.
Okay, great. Let's hear it.
Do you know what hell is? Come hear our preacher. It's catchy, it's relevant, and I certainly hope your first sermon will be about the culture war.
I can tell you right now that my sermon was not going to be about the culture war.
If we have one more illegitimate president in this country, another leftist Democrat, this church will no longer exist.
Kitty, you are too smart to say something that ridiculous.
And make sure your daughter is in attendance, Brad.
She should go and find a nice man to love.
Even pretty people can be ignorant.
It's only been 4 hours, people. How can we vote to get rid of her?
Like this. All in favor of getting rid of the abomination, raise your hands.
Should we really be calling a child of God an abomination?
If the pitchfork fits.
It's only for 3 months. Think of her as a substitute teacher.
I used to have a crush on my substitute teacher. I still remember her name, Mrs. Peterson. Oh, I love the way she would chew on her reading glasses. Well, I've always been attracted to intellectual women. And this new pastor lady is definitely smart and beautiful. But, so is my wife. I've been to 9 Promise Keeper rallies, not to be confused with the Oath Keepers, the domestic terrorist organization.
Gentlemen, can we keep our language pleasing in the sight of God?
I think we're way off topic.
Does she wear reading glasses? Does she chew on them? I don't know. But enough of the childhood
Pervert.
It's a long time ago.
Do I need to remind everyone how clear the Bible is? There's specific verses about women in leadership.
Yeah, but it all depends on which version of the Bible you're looking at. Down the British West Indies, they used to have the slave Bible. It just left out big chunks of the New Testament.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They let them know all about Joseph being a slave in Egypt. But parts about Moses leading them to the Promised Land? Nothing about that. Wonder why.
Well, Martin, he goes on and on about his knowledge of the Bible. And so, of course, he's into the modern translations, like the NIV. Me, I'm a traditionalist, King James. But my Bible says women are inferior.
What?
Spiritually inferior to men. I'm sorry.
The only thing you know about the Bible is it's heavy. Oh, yeah, he considers himself a Bible literalist. He thinks they gathered all the animals in the world and put them on a giant boat. And they floated around, and none of them ate each other. They became vegetarians for 40 days and 40 nights. Look, I got a cat in my backyard, can't go a day without eating a dumpster squirrel.
Can we get back to the issue?
Thank you, Jan.
Men and women aren't created the same. Trey's the type who probably thinks that women should be in the military.
I think they already are. Unless we're being lied to by the liberal media.
Oh, absolutely, she's right. You can't trust a word out of the liberal media. Just last week, someone in CNN, they said there was going to be a tornado in Mississippi, and there wasn't. It only hit in Alabama. Those liars.
So why are you here in the bridal suite?
No one uses this room because all marriages end with divorce or death.
Okay, so why don't you just hang out in the youth center?
I don't get along with the teenagers, so I hang out with the college kids. Sometimes we like to hang out in the building where the college singles ministry is. They call it the Heaven Bound Hangout.
That's a stupid name.
Incredibly lame. But that's where we try to have good Christian fun, like the podcast, Kevin and Caroline.
I haven't heard that one.
They're irreverent. Can I help you?
I mean, this seems like a good hiding space. What are you doing, Instagramming?
Okay, boom.
Do not call me boomer. I am a Gen Xer. That is my generation.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, no one has.
So, why were you looking for me? Oh, God. Did Dad tell you about my mom's death? And you walked around the church to find me because you felt bad and you want to become my new mother figure.
What? No.
And you probably want to date my dad. Kitty tells me all about the women trying to move in on my dad once the grieving process is over.
No, Jamie, that's not what I want to do. It's my job, my responsibility to get to know the people that I serve. And you're one of those people.
You won't be here long enough at this church to counsel me.
I mean, I know that there are some people who are kind of upset that I'm here.
You know there's a meeting in the sanctuary right now? My dad's trying to support you, but he can't because you haven't had time to prove yourself yet. He says your days are numbered. No one in Missouri is gonna like a female pastor.
You mean a black female pastor?
I think they're fine with that, actually.
Oh, good.
I just wouldn't put a Black Lives Matter sign in your office.
Oh, man. Yeah, she's exactly like me when I was 17. No, I kid you not. She's exactly like me. I love her. Swap out Instagram for MySpace, Josh Hawley for Newt Gingrich. We're the exact same girl.
Why do gals want to do a man's job? I don't try to ovulate.
Oh my goodness.
Good Lord, Elvin him.
It's the exact same thing.
Not the same thing.
I listen to a lot of opinionated men. There are so many podcasts out there. And these men find that women are sexier when we stay home and keep the house clean.
All in favor of sending that designer label latte drinking hussy back to California?
I was there at the voting the whole time. I was counting the votes, and it was so refreshing that there was a near unanimous vote to get rid of Miss California. But you better believe I got the names of all the people who didn't raise their hands.
These are good folks. These people I fellowship with. Yeah, there was a lot of pain after what the old pastor did, and then the church splits and lose all these members. Family, it's family, and so I wanted to put into context. The next morning when I talked to Reverend Parks and told her it's not personal. You wanted to see me?
Yeah. So how did the conference meeting go?
Oh, hey, you heard.
You could have at least warned me before I unpacked my 2-week suitcases.
No decisions were made, all right? And for the record, I completely defended you, as did Brandon. Some of the members, they have some hesitations.
So why did they invite me here?
Well, to be honest, they never thought you were a female. And change is hard. When I got here, I tried to incorporate drums and acoustic guitars into the worship songs.
You'd think you'd try to change the signs in the restrooms to the pronoun they.
And around here, they boycotted American Idol because they thought it broke the second commandment.
What changed? It's still called American Idol, isn't it?
A bunch of Christian kids started charting in the top 10.
Once Chris Allen beat that pervert, Adam Lambert, we stopped a letter writing campaign. God had intervened and light had triumphed over darkness.
I was one of those kids.
You were an American Idol.
The Voice, same diff. And that's what happens to a bunch of low-ranking Christian contestants. They get part-time jobs at churches and the music staff.
Well, good. God is using you here.
Every time he wears a tight white t-shirt on stage, our attendance numbers go up.
If my sex appeal can bring more young people into a relationship with Jesus Christ, well, let him use me as his vessel.
Exactly. God can use tight white t-shirts for his glory.
And also your piano skills?
Yes, he does. And by the way, lots of people find me attractive too.
Of course they do, buddy.
Hashtag praise his name. Hashtag praise his name.
Gentlemen, I have a sermon to study for.
And I have 500 mini communion cups to hand wash. Our budget is crap. Now, when you lose the tithing of 200 people, you realize you can't just throw out those disposable communion cups. And that means I get to clean all of them individually with these big old man hands. Look at these sausages, you know.
My salary never changed because I don't take a paycheck. Some people just work for the love of God's money. But also, I don't need the money. I'm a trust fund baby.
Jesus rocks, Jesus rocks, Jesus is the solid rock.
Girls, control yourselves.
We're cheering for Jesus? Do you have a problem with him?
That's such bull doo-doo. Well, what kind of woman throws herself at a worship leader just because he can play the guitar and wear those Levi's and those manicured nails and that smile? Oh.
I mean, it's not his guitar that impresses me. He was on The Voice. Cassidy Pope kicked his ass. But still, I love how your voice goes up.
Thanks, that's the key to Jesus Rocks. It's the high note. He is the solid rock.
Actually, girls, it's my voice you're hearing.
He is the solid rock.
We're talking to Scott.
Yeah, but it's actually my strong baritone voice. I'm the worship leader, and it's my voice you're hearing and you're responding to the music.
Look at all your gray hairs. Oh my God. Were you like born in the 1900s?
Yeah, so was he.
Yeah, Roy, but you were born way, way, way back in the 19th century.
Not way, way back.
Where were you when Kennedy got shot?
All right, young ladies, that's about enough.
Young ladies doesn't help your cause, Roy.
Hi, Scott. Hi,
Roy.
Exactly. How is everybody doing here at the Heaven Bound Hangout?
We're doing okay.
I like our new pastor. Her outfit was fire. It's too bad my mom was over in the other building right then voting her out.
Oh, tough break, bro.
Well, if it isn't the politically active teenager.
If it isn't the threat to patriarchy.
How are you? So I found this while I was cleaning out my office closet. Is this the poster?
Margaret Polly.
Well, it isn't the actual photo, seen as though she was a Protestant martyr back in 1555. But I looked it up.
Right, she was a widow. Burned at the stake for hearsay.
It's pronounced heresy, but yes.
Stupid men, always oppressing women. Nothing changes.
Well, Queen Mary did have something to do with that. That's why they call her Bloody Mary.
I stared at this poster for so long. As a child, it scared me, but now I can't keep my eyes off of her eyes.
And the worst part? There were people who gathered to watch her and a man get burned alive. And then there were fruit farmers who came with horse loads of cherries just to sell to the people who wanted to witness the martyrdom.
History is such a war story.
Yeah, and also like here with the lynchings that took place. You know, people would gather after church, and while they were eating, they watched someone hanging from a tree.
It's so...
You said it perfectly. History is a horror story. And there are adults nowadays that don't want young people to know history.
How much do they pay ministers in California? My grandma said that your clothes must cost upwards of dozens of dollars.
Well, I mean, my ex-boyfriend made a lot of money.
Your ex-boyfriend?
Okay, now that I hear that out loud, I sound like a playmate.
Whoa, wait. What's a playmate?
You're up next. I can't imagine a pastor having an ex-boyfriend.
It's like picturing your tennis instructor eating their low-fat sack lunch. I mean, it's so sad when authority figures become human. What are you laughing at?
You said low-fat sack.
Why don't you give me that? All right, this ball is going over to the corner pocket.
I knew you were gonna miss.
Fudge. I just knew that was gonna be a cool moment. You know, the cool pastor walks in, makes a difficult shot, and impresses all the young people.
lame.
Okay. I once had a sex dream about Joyce Meyer.
Of Joyce Meyer Ministries.
That's so effed up.
She was younger, a younger Joyce.
You're not helping your case, man.
Before all the plastic surgery.
Just no, bro.
So, what's the deal with your personal life?
Let's see, God chooses some people to raise families and others to raise congregations. And my fiance, he just couldn't understand that. He wanted me to raise his kids. He still does, I presume.
Why would you want to leave San Fran?
How much trouble are you in at school?
I'm suspended for criticizing Josh Hawley for cheering on the insurrection.
Holly's okay with protesters that look like your dad, but when they look like me, rioters and thugs.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Your school is okay with supporting a man like that?
They think he shows religious freedoms or whatever.
Well, I'm a Christian woman, and I have more rights than most any female in any part of the world. Feels like my liberty is okay. What do you think?
I overheard a big group of believers badmouth this woman last night they didn't even know. Didn't seem like their freedom of speech or expressions got trampled on.
Why don't we hang that poster back up?
To show people around here what real Christian persecution looks like.
Your mom, Cara, would be really proud of the woman you're turning into.
Do you remember her name?
I had a certain idea for my first and possibly last Sunday sermon. I'd like to think Jamie has something to do with the change in topic. And a little child shall lead them, says Isaiah. This was going to be a message about the power of redemption. I thought that it'd be a nice introduction to this new season of our lives. I know a lot of you haven't been adjusting to my arrival, getting used to the idea of me. No need for that yet. Thanks, Joe. But I'd like to ask everyone in this room if you think you're a Disney princess. I've heard a lot about the culture war this week, and it seems like we as Christians feel we're always under attack. It reminded me of a blog from Erna Kim Hackett. She calls it Disney Princess Theology. Why do we identify as the princess in every story? Why do we think we are Esther, never Haman? Why do we think we are Peter, but never Judas? We think we're the woman anointing Jesus, never Pharisees. Why are we, the Jews, escaping slavery, never Egypt? Why, as American Christians, are we always the sympathetic characters? Hackett goes on to say, for citizens of the most powerful country in the world who enslave both Native and Black people and Japanese, and the list goes on. For us to see ourselves as Israel and not Egypt when studying Scripture is a perfect example of Disney princess theology.
We're not in power in this country anymore.
You don't interrupt in church. You know better than that.
It's okay, Brad. Thank you. I actually don't mind the interaction. It's I've been called to a place of leadership, and I don't see myself above anyone at all, and that's actually why I don't wear a robe.
I can respect that. You preach, sister. I mean that in a sister of Christ kind of way. It's not a black thing.
My point is that we always tend to identify with the hero rather than the villain when watching Disney movies and reading Bible scriptures. We waste our time on things like the war on Christmas. What war? I haven't had a moment where I couldn't put baby Jesus in my loft window. I've never been interrupted when saying a prayer over my lunch at Panera Bread. I've never been put in handcuffs for saying, God bless you, to people who sneeze. When we walk around thinking of ourselves as princesses and princes, we're not equipped to engage in issues of power and injustice. No, not yet. Not yet. Are we George Floyd? Or are we the officer with the knee on his neck, squeezing the life out of him? I think God is calling us this week to ask ourselves, are we the problem in the so-called culture war? Are we the victims, the heroes, or are we the oppressors? Let's turn in our Bibles to Proverbs 14:31.
Pastor Parks be laying it down for reals. Not a dry eye in the house. Not from crying, though. But from everybody getting a little bit of that truth spit in their faces.
I don't know about being spit in the face. She definitely had some strong points. Made me feel guilty, almost. That's uncomfortable for an older white man.
Woo! Hi, brother.
Yeah, she was all right, I guess. After the sermon, I told her so. It's tradition to greet the pastor after a service. Interesting sermon. Gave me something to chew on.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
You come up with that all by yourself?
Yes.
Well, because when I was a Sunday school teacher, God usually used men to spread the word.
Winning some of these folks over wasn't going to be easy.
Well, I didn't think very much of this sermon at all, but the Lord moved me to lift her up in a way that all women appreciate. Compliment her style and fashion. I'm Sharon. This is Karen. That's a gorgeous scarf, by the way. Same color as my shower curtain.
Her shower curtain is really pretty, like baby poop.
Good. All right, ladies, I will see you in a few minutes at the potluck.
Well, where'd you get that scarf?
San Francisco, they make beautiful things out there.
Maybe China.
China. Wow, they make great
communism.
Good one, babe. I'm more progressive than my wife, and I actually enjoyed the service for once. Exit polls have you at a decent approval rating.
Yes, I think it went as well as it could.
Oh yeah, she drags me to church, but I might
didn't
actually
drag you.
drag me. Oh yeah, I still attend this church. My wife does not, however. She's taking some time off to decide if she still wants to be my wife. I was saying that I might actually enjoy the services with you on the stage. Oh, I'm sure she's coming home soon. Hopefully before Christ does. Keep the faith.
What a beautiful job, Reverend. I knew there was a reason why I voted to save your ass. I mean, you said your job. Your job.
Well, thank you. I
I'm
appreciate
Martin.
that.
Yeah, Martin.
But he goes by Salvation Hunter and Christian Mingle.
Yeah, it is. Salvation Hunter is a great screen name. You're just jealous that you didn't think of it first.
I am not. I go by Jesus Saves 15% by switching to Geico.
Oh, brother.
What? That's funny.
Yeah, I've been on Christian Mingle for a while now. I just haven't found the right godly woman.
Yeah, you know, they talk all pretty to you, you know, and just
All of a sudden, you find out you're buying them an iPhone or all expense paid trip to Grand Rapids or Bay City or something. It's just, oh yeah, she's out there, right? I tried signing up for J-Date, tried to find a nice Jewish woman. You know, the Old Testament. I mean, that's half the battle, right? And I just have to introduce her to Christ and make her mine.
Yeah, it happens to all of us. I met this Christian woman from Guam, and I wound up paying her way through Moody Bible Institute. Then it turned out it was a guy named Doug who worked at Meineke.
Yeah, I've tried J-Date, Match, Plenty of Fish. As it turns out, there aren't that many women that want to date a man like me.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, she'd have to love the Lord and be under 30.
Well, as I said before, part of this job just requires me to listen to everyone's story. Everyone.
I was road crew with DeGarmo and Key. They were big Christian band back in the 80s and the early 90s.
I wasn't even born yet. Daddy hadn't even put his seed
Okay,
in.
I will see you all at the potluck.
I don't know if you've heard of DeGarmo and Key. They were great. Well, I mean, they still are. Well, one of them died.
There are some people with some big, loving hearts. Like Margie. She owns her own Christian bakery. And she gave me this wine glass that says, "This little wine of mine, I'm gonna let it shine." It's people like that that make me want to stay in the Midwest.
Cross Krispies?
Oh, well, no thank you. I'm watching my cross carbs.
My grandma was up all night making these. You know, she really got the cross of Jesus down. But getting the dimension right for the Benedict and the impingement beef, that was hard.
I'm really watching my carbs and sugars.
She was up all night crying.
I was crying because of what he did, sacrificing for our sins on Calvary.
Oh, take a treat.
You know what? The heck with the Atkins diet. He died of a heart attack anyway. God bless Saint Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Yeah, I love these people. And someday, hopefully, they'll love me too.
It's a combination of marshmallows and cereal.
Just wait until I tell them that an empty house of worship 6 days a week is a total waste of God's resources. I think I'm going to turn this place into a shelter for children and women that are homeless. They're going to love that, right?
Hi.